สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับอาจารย์ครับวันนี้พี่จุ๊บไม่มานะครับปอนเป็นคนอ่านนะครับครับผมครับโอเคครับ
Hello and welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We'll go to Sri and check. Our first participant for tonight. How come you get in so quickly? Amazing. You used to come in the end.
Yeah, now we use
Surprising.
computer.
Surprising. Thanks for the lunch, the free lunch.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you,
welcome.
Father.
Thank
First
you.
day of school.
First day of
Oh,
school.
first day of school.
The new school year start in the middle of May of every year in Thailand.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
first day of school is the me what day?
I think May 16 or something like that.
Oh,
okay.
last
The middle of May.
Mm.
It might move. It might move if it happens to be on a Sunday or Saturday, and then they move to a Monday or something like that.
Oh,
You don't go to school on Saturday or Sunday, so
yeah. After Vesak day, and then
usually it's the middle of May of every year. Thai school starts
oh,
the whole country.
oh,
Because the weather is different here. Here it's hot, it's summer now. It's the start of raining season. So
oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, we
the end of hot season and we're starting the rainy season now. We have 4 seasons a year.
4 seasons.
Hot season, rainy season, cold season. Oh, three. I'm sorry.
3.
Not 4.
Yeah.
3 seasons.
Hot, cold, and rainy
Yeah.
season.
We're entering the rainy season now. That's during the rain residency. When residence starts in about a month and a half from now.
Oh,
2 months from Visakha Bhucha Day.
Oh,
and then rainy season for 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah, for 4 months. Yeah,
4 months.
Oh, 4 months, sorry.
but it's
4 months.
starting right now.
Start.
Start the middle of May.
Yeah.
Oh,
And 4 months later, I think middle of October, I think, September. Then it will be starting for the cold season.
oh,
Rainy, cold, and hot.
that's why the most of my Thai friends recommend going to Thailand like in October.
Yeah,
Start
that's
October.
the cool season starts.
Yeah.
Ah,
So most tourists come to Thailand during the cool
Cold
season
season. Yeah.
because they enjoy their vacation. No rain, no hot weather to worry about. But here we almost have rain almost practically every day or so.
Right now?
Yeah, it comes in stretches. This is the
Oh,
first stretch of rain we have practically almost every day. But then
oh,
it'll stop maybe for a few weeks, and it'll come back again.
Is it very heavy rain, Ajahn?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes just briefly a shower. Sometimes a big rain.
Oh, raining season. I see.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay, so we'll come
maybe.
back to our Dhamma talk now instead of
Okay. Yeah. Last week you said that like don't you said to a participant like don't lose your mind, because when you lose your mindfulness you lose your mind. So like
your
like
mindfulness is your God, is the one, the guardian of the mind, is mindfulness. Yeah.
guardian of the mind. The
In Thai, when you don't have mindfulness, we say you are crazy, you're insane.
oh. So that's what the Buddha say, isn't it, Ajahn? The Buddha said that like we are crazy. It is because we lack mindfulness. Is it?
Yeah,
Like
we don't have mindfulness to control our mind, our mental action. We think something crazy and then we start following what we think and do what we think, say what we think. Then it comes out crazy.
oh,
If you have mindfulness, then you will have common sense to to judge whether your thought is right or wrong, good or bad, before you allow it to come out through your speech or your physical action.
oh,
Without mindfulness, you're like a drunk. When you feel like saying anything, you just say. Feeling like doing anything, you just do, without
oh,
any consideration whether it's appropriate or not, right or wrong or not.
oh,
The Buddha said mindfulness is important. It's necessary. It's essential in every activity. You need to have mindfulness to guide your
oh.
mind. If you want to have a right action, samma kammanto, samma vaca, samma vayamo, samma chivo.
But like an arahant will never do anything wrong because they have like sati sampajanya.
Oh, he might do something wrong, but not morally wrong, but maybe don't know about the traffic law and driving on a different side of the road or something like that.
But you never drive.
Well, we in Thailand, we drive on the left side. So if we go to Canada, we just choose to.
Will Arahant drive
Arahant will not
cars
do
or
any
bicycle?
morally wrong, no bad karma.
No bad
Yeah,
karma.
no, doesn't
But
kill, doesn't steal, doesn't lie, doesn't cheat. But he might be driving on the wrong side of the road. If he goes here in Thailand and our neighboring country, we have different side of the road to drive on. See, so we cross the border, we can be on the wrong side of the road without knowing it.
he might do something like in the conventional world that
Yeah, because he didn't study the law, the conventional law. He's not aware of it. Let's put it that way.
but like morally never any like
Like in
never
Thailand, we can spit on the on the street. You know, when we go to Singapore, we cannot do it.
he cannot chew gum. He might chew
Yeah,
gum.
no chewing gum in Singapore, you know.
Chew gum. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Yeah. Morally wrong, then it's zero.
Yeah, zero. Yeah,
Yeah.
from a Sotapanna up all the way to the fourth level of noble disciples. They know right and wrong morally.
Oh,
What is
from
good or
Sota.
bad for them? Because when you do something morally wrong, it hurts the
Yeah.
mind. It makes you feel bad. See?
Oh,
When you cheat, you don't feel good.
yeah.
When you steal, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
So you know this. So you don't want to hurt your mind by doing bad
Oh.
action, bad karma.
Oh, so Sotapanna already have a perfect, like, more perfect,
Yeah, he sees the working of the mind, the action and the result, the consequence of the mind's action.
oh,
So he never do anything bad,
oh,
morally bad, not, but he might be doing something bad in other way, like,
Mm.
like chew gum on
chew
a,
gum or
in
chewing
Singapore.
betel nut,
In Singapore. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's clear. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Any
Ajahn,
question?
um, how do we recollect like death? I mean,
Just keep thinking about it. Recollection is keep thinking about it, remembering it. Don't forget it. That's the goal. If you don't forget that, then you don't want to accumulate too much of anything. Because in the end you're not going to take anything with you. The problem is you forget death. So you keep worrying about your future, what's going to happen to me in the future and so forth. But you forget that the future is death. If you think of that as your future, then there's nothing to worry about. In the end, you're going to end up dead.
so I see myself like future is death, but also reflect on other people as well. If I see like these people,
Yes, everybody. First yourself and then every other people as well. So you don't feel sad when they die. Because this is what's going to happen. No one can avoid death. But we keep forgetting about it. We don't want to think about it. Because whenever we think, we don't feel like doing anything anymore. So it's a good recollection. It reminds you the truth of life.
Yeah.
Life is death. Death is life. They go
Yeah.
together, hand in hand.
The Buddha standard is very high, Ajahn. Like he wants us to record every breath. Like breathe in, you live, and breathe. You don't. You were saying that, like if you don't breathe in, you die. You don't.
Because
Yeah.
the moment you stop thinking about it, you can forget, and your defilement start to greed for this and that again.
Mindfulness. Recollecting death is a form of mindfulness too, right, Ajahn?
Wisdom and wisdom is wisdom.
Wisdom. Oh.
It's what caused the Buddha to to renunciate his princely life and became a monk. When he saw the sick man, aging, dying man, and a dead man, and a monk. This is the four divine sign or messenger. We call it messenger.
Yeah.
The four divine messengers sent from heaven to remind us that our life we're gonna end up getting old, getting sick, and die. And the best way to deal with aging, sickness, and death is to become a monk. Because then you will have full time to meditate, to prime your mind to accept aging, sickness, and death. Once the mind can accept, then the mind will have no suffering. So keep reminding yourself every morning. The first thing you should do is, I'm subjected to aging, sickness, and death, and separation from the ones I love. And I cannot avoid or overcome this. It will happen one day, sooner or later. Keep reminding yourself this before you go to work, before you do anything else. This is the first action you should start your day with.
We should start with the 5 recollection.
Having been born, I am subjected to aging, subjecting to sickness, subjecting to death, subjecting to separation from the ones I love, subjecting to
own karma,
your karma, so forth.
Okay.
Then you will then have a proper direction for your activity during the day. You won't be so aggressive with accumulating things
Oh.
because in the end you're not going to be able to use it anyway. So
Mm.
you just accumulate just enough to survive, really.
Mm.
And if you accumulate less, then you don't have to work so hard. Then you can relax, enjoy life more. See?
Yeah.
You're not enjoying life. You just spend your life working so hard, hoping that you can enjoy it in the end. But in the end, you're gonna end up sick and die. So it's there to enjoy at the end of your hard working life.
Yeah. Ourselves and what I've seen other people doing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's true.
Mm.
In the meantime, you let your life, immersed with just worry and anxiety and about work, about money. So you never have the time to enjoy life at all. And when the time you don't have to work, you don't have time to enjoy your life either because you're too old and you're too sick to do it.
Yeah, you're right, Ajahn. Yeah, a lot of people wait until retirement age, but at that time we already have all the
Yeah.
sickness.
All the ailments waiting for you, high blood pressure.
Mm.
Yeah. We're happy that we can come in today just to encourage other participants. Don't give up.
You don't need money to make you happy. You just need the time to be happy. That's all.
Mm.
You don't have the time to be happy because you spend all your time working. Because you think by having money you will be happy, but you won't be happy. As Warren Buffett,
Yeah.
as Bill Gates, are they happy with their money?
They still want more. They
Yeah.
even though they have a lot, they still want more. So never, I guess never
Yeah,
enough.
you want the time to relax, to meditate. That's what real happiness is.
Yeah.
But you don't have the time because all your time is in the pursuit of money.
Mm.
But you don't have the time to pursue your true happiness through practice of meditation.
Oh, we use our time wrong then, huh? Mm.
I found this early, so I retired at the age of 27, I think.
Yeah.
27, I retired. I stopped working.
That's so smart.
26.
26. Wow.
Yeah, I started meditating. Once I stopped working, I have full-time meditation. I can practice all day. Oh,
Wow. That's wisdom. Wow. Wisdom at a very young age. Mm.
because I find, the real happiness is in yourself, not outside, not with anybody or anything.
Mm.
Because anything or anybody are all suffering. They will cause you suffering. Once you have them, then you have to cling to them, then you have to worry about them. And then
Yeah.
you become sad when you lose them.
Mm. And you saw the divine messenger, like your friends.
Yeah, I saw it at the age of 12, I think I saw a
12.
friend die.
Mm. You saw the body, right? You saw
Yeah,
the
you go to the funeral and they open the casket so you can look at the body
Oh.
lying in the casket.
Mm.
He happens to be a Christian, so they have Christian funeral rites.
Oh.
In Buddhist, we have closed casket. We don't see the body.
Oh.
They have a beautiful picture of the dead person put in front of the casket instead.
Oh.
Not like during the time of the Buddha when you see the corpses because they don't they don't burn. Some they don't burn. They just dispose in the cemetery to rot and to decay.
Yeah.
This is the best way for the environment, though. You don't burn any tree. You don't cause any carbon dioxide emission. And
Oh.
so natural, everything decomposed and returned back to element.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, good recollection.
Yeah.
Don't forget, every day, first thing in the
Every day.
morning, before you
The
brush your
five.
teeth.
Before. Okay.
When I
When we
open my eye.
when we wake up, do the five
Yeah.
recollection. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the suggestion. Thank you.
Anything else?
Oh no, I just want to encourage the participant, don't give up. Because last week we came in half an hour earlier, but we couldn't get in. But but this week we came in 45 minutes earlier and we got in. So
I think the administrator tried to switch the queue now.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Those
that's why.
those who came last will come first this time, and
And also, I think
those who come first this time will come last next time. So everybody have a chance to.
I think it's because we are regular too, right? So I
Yeah.
think it's very fair. So yeah,
And some people don't have any questions, so we put them in the bag. No question,
Yeah.
no question. Put them in the bag.
right. So I yeah, don't give up, Just wait. You'll get in. Yeah.
But you can watch live right now. You cannot get in. You can still
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
live.
Yeah, that's what we did. We watched
Yeah.
live. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for the teaching, Ajaan.
Next, Samanji. Now you get your chance to come in early this time.
Oh, thank you, Tanaja. There's something wrong with my camera, but you can hear me, right?
That right. You look like your sister.
No,
I thought it was your sister first.
no.
Okay, I can hear you well. You can speak. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I have a few questions, Tanaja. Now, I have read that the Buddha never loses his memory power, though he gets old. The Buddha had said that my body may be weak, but not my mind. Does it mean that a Buddha will always have a sharp memory until his parinirvana? And why is that?
Because he has developed the mental faculties that will make the mind strong. The five spiritual power of sattha, viriya, sati, samadhi, and panya. So this keeps the mind strong all the time.
Okay. It's the same with an arahant.
Yes, every arahant,
Ah,
they have this
okay.
spiritual faculty that enable the mind to be strong all the time, regardless of the condition of the body.
Okay. Ah. Okay, Tanagar, my second question is, I think this is related to what you said a little while ago. You said the four signs Prince Siddhartha saw, this old man, a sick man, dead body, and a monk. Those are the images sent from heaven for Prince Siddhartha to know the truth or something. Why did you say that these are the images sent from, I mean, symbols sent from heaven?
Well, I think in Buddhism, I'm not sure whether it's in Thai Buddhism or not, but we call it Devaduta. Devaduta, ambassador from the Devas.
Okay. So messages from Devas, I have read that are related to Christianity, but here in this context also we can take it like that, no, Tanaja?
We usually call it divine, something.
Divine.
Yeah,
Okay.
something divine, messenger or something like that,
A
to
messenger.
remind us of the truth of life. Life is aging,
Okay,
sickness, and death, and separation.
Okay, Tanaja. Yeah. And my third question is, had Prince Siddhartha achieved any sort of mental development when he was born? I mean, was he able to achieve a mental development at a very early age?
Yes, I think he had jhana before in his past life. So during his when he was young, one day he was left alone sitting under the tree and nobody around him. Suddenly his mind suddenly just entered into jhana without even trying to do it.
And I think I read somewhere, or a monk, Sri Lankan monk, had written about this or something. I can't remember the exact location, Tanaja. But there was a mentioning that Prince Siddhartha had attained, was a sohan at the time of, not at the time of his birth, maybe at a very early age, he became a Sotapanna. Can this be true?
No, because he hasn't
No.
he hasn't discovered the Four Noble Truths yet. In order to be a noble disciple, even a Sotapanna, he has to see the Four Noble Truths in his mind. He only had
Okay.
jhana. He had the ability to keep the mind calm.
Okay. That was because he had been doing it throughout his samsara, you know. That's
Yes,
why
in his
he was.
past life, he used to practice jhana before. So in this life, when the condition around, the physical condition around him allows for the mind to be calm, it can become calm automatically without even trying to make it calm.
Okay, Tanajan. My next question is, Tanajan, as you always say, the best form of giving is helping someone without expecting anything in return. If that is the case, then the most meritorious act would be to help a beggar or a complete stranger, wouldn't it?
Well, helping anybody gets the same benefit. Help a monk, help a beggar, help a dog. You get the same benefit from helping. I mean, yourself,
Okay.
the benefit you get yourself is the same, whether you give it to whoever you give it to. But the benefit that the person that you help that can give back to you might be different. See. If you give to a monk, you might get Dhamma from a monk. If you give it to the dog, then the dog might help you bark, watch your house for you or something. So the benefit from the people is different. The people you give is different. But the benefit of giving up, but your possession, your attachment to your money, this is the same regardless of who you give to.
Okay, Tanajan. Do I have the time? I have 3 more questions.
Go ahead, you've got plenty of time.
So Tanajan, so treating a parent, a relative, a friend is less meritorious compared to helping someone who is a complete stranger, or
Same,
that
like I
depends?
said, regardless of
Same.
who, yeah.
Okay. But Tanajan, but the Buddha said that one can never repay the debt owed to one's parents, no matter how well you treat them.
But this is an obligation, see. Not the benefit of giving. We're talking about benefit of giving before.
Okay. This is something different.
This is something people that you should consider giving first is someone who has been your benefactor.
Okay.
Or someone who can do a lot of good for the world, like give it to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha first, if they need help. Give to those who can bring the most benefit to the world.
Okay, thanks. Okay. If that is the case, treating parents would be number 1, right?
That's right, because you are obligated to look after them. Yeah.
Okay, Tanajan. My next question is, can an arhat make a public declaration of their attainment? If someone, whether a layperson or a monk, asks an arhat to explain their mental development, Tanajan, and how they achieved it, is it appropriate for the arhat to speak about their experience and the point at which they reached arhatship?
I think an arhat knows when to say what to say, so don't worry about him. Worry about you.
Okay. No, why I asked that was Tanajan, some people, even lay people say that they have achieved Sotapanna status and all that. That's why I asked whether
Well,
they can make,
it depends on how they say it. See. If they just merely say, I'm an arhat, who's going to prove that you are not whether you are or not? See. But if he speaks a way of how to become an arhat, then you can maybe prove it by following the way that he did. And if you could become an arhat just like the way he did, then you can say, he's speaking the truth. See.
Okay, Tanajan. My last question is, can breaking a single link in the chain of dependent origination stop the entire cycle of suffering? If so, which link is more crucial?
Can what? Can you repeat again?
Can breaking a single link in the chain of dependent origination, I mean, such as avidya, sankara, and all that, Paticca
Well, the way to break the whole link is is at the top, at the beginning. Stop avisha
Okay.
by teaching the mind wisdom. See, once the mind knows that the real happiness is in peace, is in the mind itself, not outside, then it will stop the mind from going outside to take rebirth.
Okay.
So you need
That's,
wisdom.
yeah.
That's why you have to wait for the Buddha to discover the wisdom, and then you study from him, because you alone will not be able to do it by yourself. We alone, we cannot do it by ourselves. We need somebody like the Buddha to discover the Four Noble Truths and to teach us. Then we can then follow his teaching and then become enlightened, and then we can stop the dependent origination.
Okay, Tanajan. Okay, thank you. And Tanajan, thank you so much for your comments. This time for Vesak also, I shared the link with your admin. I published the interview and we got a lot of responses, and I asked them to join your Zoom session as well.
Okay.
So Sri Lankan readers, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for
much.
your interest. I
Yes,
hope this can benefit many people.
yes, yes.
Okay,
Certainly benefits. Okay, thank you so much, Tanajan.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hope to see you again with more questions.
Yes, yeah, sure, will do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry this time there's an issue with my Zoom, but next time I hope to
Yeah,
correct that. Yes,
everything
yeah.
is anija, so don't
Yeah,
worry.
Nisha, that's true. Yeah. Okay, Tanajan.
We
Wish
make
you
do with
good
whatever
health and
we can.
happiness.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Thank you
Okay,
so
take
much.
care. Take
Yeah.
care.
You too. Thank you.
Next, Marco from Holland.
Hi, Tanajan. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Happy to be here. I have one question for you today. I'm realizing that when I'm with my parents, who I have a great debt for giving birth to me, that I feel less topics I can talk to them about. So I try to talk with them about whatever they talk about. But I feel a sense of I don't know what the proper word is. Maybe it's solitude, that they speak about things that don't interest much anymore. But still, I want to be a good son. So I'm trying to keep up the role of being a son, which is part of what this life is about, I guess. Would you have any suggestions as to how to do that in such a way that the way I try to raise my son doesn't get involved in a situation where I have to correct my parents, because it's not my role to do so?
Well, our role as a son or daughter is to support our parents when they can no longer support themselves. Yeah. And make them happy in any way we can. That's all. But don't impose our will upon them. We should serve them rather than try to be by bossing around them, you know. You should do this, you shouldn't do that. This is not something we should say to our parents. You know. We should ask our parents, what can I do for you today? Is there anything I can do for you today? You have to be a servant, not the boss, to your parents.
Yeah, true. So the reason why I'm asking is because I see my son, the way we raise our kid is different than how my parents raised me. So whenever I see certain situations where my parents talk to my son, then I feel inclined to say something about it, but I don't. And I have the feeling that it's okay to not do so, even though I know that the way they're saying it's not okay. It makes sense. So is it the right approach for me to actually step away and just accept how they talk, even though I know it's not really wholesome or good?
When they're talking, you shouldn't interfere. Let them talk. But if you find it's not right, you can correct later on. You can tell your son later on, this is not what you should be doing, or something. But you shouldn't cut in. You know, when your parents talking to your son. or whenever your parent is talking, you should not interfere. Let them speak their mind. You just keep listening
Mm-hmm.
until
Okay.
they stop talking, and then you might ask permission. Can I offer some view, some different view to this? You know, be civil. Don't try to argue, but try to be,
There.
you know, don't try to
impose my will.
impose your, and they want to impose their will also. So you end up arguing, and so
I think that's what the Sankara was about that I had in my mind, and that's actually the reason why I didn't really say anything anyway, because I was kind of thinking about that was gonna happen, but I didn't really state it in different ways, to just raise it as a topic and ask if I could just give my feedback on what I think about something, which is also a different angle to play. I think that's good advice.
you'd always try to show respect to your parents, regardless of
Mm,
what they say or do. You know, it's not us to correct or change them.
true. I do what I notice is that, let's just say that I recognize certain character traits that I used to have, which were not necessarily beneficial, not to say they were just unskillful. And because I know how much benefit I had by changing those habits, if you will, I wish the best for my parents, but at the same time I don't want to lecture them, of course, which is not my role. But at the same time it kind of hurts me. So I try to let go, but it's not easy. It sits there because you just, it's like, I don't know, it's like you see this train running towards a cliff and it's gonna fall off, but it's not your role to stop the train. I don't know how to explain it differently.
Or you can explain that you cannot teach an old dog a new trick.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Let the old dog do their own tricks. You know,
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
we don't need to teach our parents. They are our teacher. We are not their teacher. We are their students. So we should learn or listen to them and not lecture to them.
That's the part where I should really look at myself and say, like, why am I thinking that I know better than my parents? So I should work on myself anyway.
One of the wisdom property is to know your role and other people's role.
Yeah.
Sometimes
True.
we forget our role, we forget other people's role, and we end up, you know, playing different role than what we should be playing.
Becomes difficult situations, which happens a lot. Yes.
Mm.
Thank you, Ajaan. That was the only question I had. I also like to report my homework is going well. I feel way more peaceful. Yeah, I think I turned some pages along the way.
Yeah, life is it's a matter of learning. You know, you're learning things every day. Learn your mistake and try to you know, not repeat the same mistake again and move on.
I think that's one of the important hindrances that I've seen, is that I never accepted my mistakes in the first place. And what I now do is I see what happened, and I see that I am not the mistake. That's the thing. So I'm seeing the three characteristics in the mistake itself, and that actually makes it easier to deal with it. And that takes away from the negative feeling that you have for the memory of the situation. And I think I understand how memory affects a lot of feelings that we have about things that happen. And by kind of distancing myself from that, by not seeing it as myself, I think that that's working better. So I think it's really just keeping up with the practice and seeing the benefit and actually enjoying the practice. That's really it.
Good. Try to accept the truth. If you did something wrong, accept it.
Yeah.
And then it will make you fun. It will make you feel better. And you can also then correct your mistakes and not repeat the same mistakes again.
Yeah, exactly. I think that helped me back so much, because not wanting to admit my mistakes actually caused me not to look at my mistakes in the first place. So if you not accept your mistakes that you've made, how can you ever correct them? So by accepting them, you actually become a better person per definition, because you are not afraid to review what happened, and that actually means that you're developing, progressing. So I think that that's the most important lesson I've learned in the past month. Like, if you make a mistake, it's okay, because you admit your mistake, and that means you can continue and you can progress. Otherwise, I can't find the root. How can I ever find the root if I don't want to admit?
You have to be wrong first before you can be right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. See you next week.
Thank you, Tanajan.
You're welcome. Next, Diana from King City, Canada.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajaan Suchart.
Yes. You have any question tonight?
I think some of them were getting answered by your answers just now to everyone.
Okay. Let's bring out the answer, the ones that haven't got an answer yet.
I guess the realization I had that I also made some mistakes this past week, and I was trying to figure out like how it happened. And while I was listening to you today, I realized maybe it was a lack of mindfulness.
Or the lack of the lack of wisdom.
Lack of wisdom.
Yeah, not knowing what is right or what is wrong can make you do the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. Although, like, after some incidents, I realized that I shouldn't have gotten nervous or heated up or just like emotional. But in the moment, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, because you not have enough mindfulness to think before you say anything to it. When you think, you just then go ahead and do what you think or say what you think without screening it first.
And I was involved in a very similar situation 3 times in a row when the other person because I made some decisions to pull back to create some more mindfulness time for myself, like less social. And I've encountered some resistance from outside, from the acquaintances that I keep that in the past weren't expressing themselves very strongly and aggressively. But in that moment, I got engaged in conversation. And now that I was listening to you, it sounds like maybe I could have just listened and let them have a different opinion than me.
That's right. You should be more of a listener than a talker.
It was kind of I got engaged when to me I appeared that that they were saying that their view is correct and I'm incorrect, and it just felt kind of disrespectful. Like we all have different opinions, and I guess that's pride. Would that be like pride? Or I was trying to locate a defilement that was driving me.
Our attachment to our own views. So we don't want to change our view. If somebody presents us with a different view, we still cling to our own views.
So then how do we...
You have to listen to the fact, and then use the fact to decide whether they are right or you are right.
Like give it time and just like not engage in that moment.
That's right. No need to argue. Just let them talk and say thank you. That's it. And then whether you're gonna accept the view or not, it's up to you to digest first what they say, whether they are right or not. If it's good view and it's better than your view, then you can accept it and change. Like when you study the teaching of the Buddha, you're learning a different views from the Buddha. So then you try to absorb it into yourself and see whether it's better for you or not. If it's better for you, then okay, no problem. If it's not better, then you don't need to absorb it. You don't need to take it in.
Because in those 3 instances, I definitely communicated that like I'm okay, like I I'm not seeking advice, and but somehow it was so important for them to continue, and they became like quite like,
If you want to show loving kindness, then you just listen and say thank you.
listen and say thank you. Yeah. Okay, I'll work on that, because maybe that's what prevented me to be successful in that situation. I kind of was trying to
Don't try to end up fighting, arguing against each other.
Yeah, you know, in this culture right now, everybody talks about like boundaries and how to like set and maintain them. And I guess maybe a part of me was trying to do that. And then I realized, like, when I tried to apply this teaching, is like, I don't have control. Like if they don't want to respect my boundaries, they don't have to.
Yeah, there's no need to argue about it. Everybody just stay in the side of their own fence, you know, their own boundary.
I just accept their way of thinking, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Whether they accept your way or not, that's their problem, not your problem.
Then what to do for myself that I'm feeling such strong opposition and taking it personally, you know,
because you're attached to your view, you think your view is superior to them, to their view. So you don't want to accept anybody's view except your own. You can accept or don't accept, that's another story. You just listen and nod your head and say, okay, thank you. And that's it. That's the role for you to play when you're talking to other people.
Mm-hmm.
But then whether you're gonna accept it or follow what they say or not, it's up to you to think about it later on and decide for yourself.
Okay.
If it's not good for you, then it's okay, just throw it in the garbage can.
Okay. Okay.
But just to keep a good relationship, you know, say thank you. Show loving kindness. Use loving kindness when you deal with people.
Okay.
And respect other people's view.
Especially when I don't agree, when I have my own.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I think I didn't do that. And maybe that's what driven them to even persist more. Maybe they needed that understanding that, oh yes, they're being heard and they're being respected. And okay.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Just taking baby steps. Like I got sick on Sunday, but I felt that I caught myself more in my reaction. Oh, no, not again. I was able to just quickly regroup and maintain mindfulness and just do what was necessary and not fall into this negative thinking. So that was really nice. And then just same thing with some things not being done at the house, just like taking it, like having more peace and finding that detachment, realizing that's anicca, and I'm doing what I can. And same thing with my mom. I was able to help her more. And I think she's able to see it through this year more. And she's started to thank me now for taking care of her and things like that. Like I keep telling her that I will, you know, if she needs me to come, that she can tell me, and that I will just put everything aside and I will arrive and attend to her. And the moment came on Saturday, on Friday, and I was thinking, oh, but I really want to go to the monastery. And I just, I made a decision to go and help her. And it was good. Like it was difficult, but it was, I think it was different from what she was usually expecting it, because it was sudden. And
helping her is a form of charity, a form of dana.
Yeah, dana.
But you don't need to go to the temple to make dana. You can go to your mother's house and make dana there.
Yes, that's what I've also tried to explain it to my daughter, that it's still like we're giving dana, but just to my mother. And
make other people happy.
Yeah, I still struggle afterwards in terms of tension. I find that I'm still very tense, and I'm feeling very tense at my mother's house, just waiting for some things to not work out. But maybe I'll apply the same thing
You
where
should change. You should change your attitude and be prepared for anything that can happen.
anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly it still tends to revolve around my daughter. Like if her needs are in conflict with my mother's, it's I don't know how to combine those two yet still.
Well, your daughter reaction to your mother is her reaction, not yours. And sometimes you cannot control her.
Yeah, I cannot control.
You can teach her later on when you go back to the house and say, maybe you shouldn't do this, maybe you shouldn't do that.
And maybe I'll apply it to my daughter too, because she's been just going through a lot of upsets, and doesn't matter what I do, there's still the same reaction.
Yeah.
Like just something and then I'm seeing that like how the mind is unhappy, yet I cannot I cannot like pinpoint like if it's greed or like what is it exactly.
Yes, it's not easy to change other people's feeling. They just have to go through the process themselves.
Okay. Yeah, I've sort of started to go that way, but I've stopped. So I'm going to go that way again, where I just accept it and give it time and just refocus on myself and just keep my mindfulness. And okay, that sounds good. Yes.
Okay, good. Is that it?
Yes, I just need to practice more. Like it's been very up and down last week. I'm hoping this week I dropped some things just to make some more time for practice and like the basics. So I'm not always
The more mindfulness you have, the calmer your mind will be, and your reaction will be better toward other people also. You'll be more kind, more loving, more caring.
Yes, you know, 2 weeks ago I was talking about how I or maybe last month that I kind of left the work because I made a more peaceful decision. So it turned out that they want me back anyhow. So it was but then I didn't want to go back into with tension. So and then I got sick. So like they don't want like sick teachers to attend, but it was still like a very nice a very strange outcome. That if you that when I choose peace, peace does come back.
Good.
I want to make room for other people to share too.
All right, good. I'll go to New Zealand now, okay? To Anura and Ramya. How's your online practice?
Good evening,
Good evening, Thailand. Yeah.
Yes, it is good. I participated chanting and followed up with the meditation. This conduct by new monastery, Wat Bodhisattva in Sydney.
Good.
Yeah.
Just keep on practicing.
Yeah.
The more the better.
I do.
Not practicing meditation has no harm.
Yeah.
It only gives you benefit. Any question tonight?
Yeah, I have good evening, Thailand. I have a question to clarify. Last week, I don't know whether I have misunderstood. Last week you mentioned emptiness is permanent. Could you please clarify what it means?
It means when you have nothing, then you cannot lose anything. You always have nothing. Nothing is always with you. You don't lose nothing, right? You lose something, but you don't lose nothing.
Oh, I see.
Okay, that's what I mean, emptiness. You cannot lose emptiness. You only lose something. When you have something, you lose it. But when you don't have anything, then what is there to lose?
Oh, okay.
Then there's no anicca in emptiness. No anatta in emptiness. Emptiness is nothing.
Yeah. Shunyata, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Understand?
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Practice is good. I practice in the morning.
The goal is to be happy with nothing. Then
Yeah.
you would not lose anything. Then you wouldn't have any dukkha, because
Mm.
nothing cannot give you dukkha.
Yeah.
It's only something that can give you dukkha.
True. Yeah.
When you have nothing, then they cannot give you dukkha.
Yeah.
It's only when you have something, then they can give you dukkha.
Yeah.
And the goal is to not to have any dukkha, right?
Yeah.
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 And so you have to live with nothing to be.
Mm.
And you can do this with meditation. When you
Yeah.
meditate, your mind becomes calm. You have contentment. When you have
Mm.
contentment, you don't need anything. You don't want anything.
Mm.
Then
Yes.
you're always happy.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to feed your body, but you know this is your last body. You won't go after the next body anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay? So meditate, get to jhana.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And then once you have jhana, then use wisdom to get rid of all your craving for things.
Mm.
And when there are no more craving left, then there will be no more
Yeah.
things for you to worry about.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Thangajan. Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Next, Mike from New York.
Good evening, Ajaan.
How are
Thank you
you
for taking.
today? Good.
I'm good. Yeah, it's a springtime in New York. The weather is nice. I'm trying to be diligent in my practice. I was rather enjoying hearing you talking this morning with Sui and Czech when I first logged in, and you were kind of talking about the upcoming rainy season. And I was just curious, I know you had written about it in your book, Beyond Birth, but for you, taking the rains retreat, how did that impact your practice? Did that, were you able to become your own teacher in a certain way with your own mind when you took the rains retreat, or how did it further your meditation practice?
Well, the rain retreat, actually, the purpose was to prevent the monk from traveling, because during ancient time they travel by walking, and sometimes they walk across the field and then damage the crops that the farmer were plowing or planting. So they asked to stay and stay put in one place for the next 3 months during the rainy season. That's all. But the practice is up to each individual. Whether you want to practice all year round or you just want to concentrate only during the rains retreat, that's up to you. So,
Was there a point, because I know you studied under Mahabua, was there a point where you felt like you had studied with him enough and you were, able to depend on yourself more completely? Was there a moment that clicked for you, or has it always been more of a continuous feeling and like always being a student?
well, let me put it generally, but I don't want to talk about myself. But as you practice, as you develop, eventually first you need the external teacher to teach you. But as you develop more wisdom, then you will have the inner teacher develop within yourself. And one day you'll find that you don't need the external teacher anymore. So that's the goal, eventually, to not to rely on anybody, rely on yourself as your own teacher. And this is what happened to all the noble disciples. Once they became arahant, they don't live with the Buddha anymore. They separate, and then they, instead of being a student, now they became a teacher instead. Yes, so one day the goal is to become your own teacher. So you don't have to rely on other people to teach you all the time. And the Buddha said this could happen to you either in 7 days or 7 months or 7 years. It's up to you, the amount of time you put in and the intelligence that you have can vary, can cause your ability to become your own teacher shorter or longer. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ajahn.
All right. You're welcome. Next, PL and Indira. PL is busy. Oh, he's back. Finish with your patient.
No, just starting. That's okay.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Ajahn from Toronto.
Okay. Good day to you.
Good day to you. It's nice and pleasant. A little bit chilly, but still the
Getting
spring
better.
is nice. Yes,
Mhm.
in the garden doing roses. The craving.
And you could have good smell also, fresh.
Yeah, fragrance. Yes,
Yeah, fragrance.
and the leaves are there, and the magnolia tree, the beautiful. It kind of all falls within few weeks. It's done. Anicca.
Yeah, then summer comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets it's good to learn from. As you can learn a lot from the garden too.
Some people, I think, in the past they became enlightened by just studying the nature of the flower.
Nature. The good examples of impermanence, very clear clarity. If you want to contemplate, it's out there.
Yeah,
it's like a book written.
Look at your body as a flower.
Yeah, that's right. Impermanence. Yes,
That's true.
Yeah. I want to ask a question about the four elements quickly, if you have time. The contemplation of the four elements. Now, it's Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, that in that order: solids, liquids, heat, and gas. Now, when you die, it's a reverse order which goes. The gas, the air goes out first, then heat goes away, the body becomes cold, and the liquids kind of solidify and just dry up. And finally, the solids, the bones and everything goes away. So that's in the reverse order, right? Yeah. So when you contemplate now on the four elements, you can just contemplate on that like as a death. Like when you die, you can imagine you're dying and the breath is gone, and then the liquids dry up, and then the heat goes away and the liquids dry up, and the solid kind of wither away like a dissolution, and it part of the nature becomes scattered in the nature. Can you do that? Also, there's a way of contemplation.
It's a combination and the dissolution of the four elements. That's what it is about. That's what the body is all about. You need the four elements to form the body, to form the 32 parts. And then you need the four elements to keep maintaining these 32 parts until one day the body will no longer be able to absorb or maintain its life, then stop functioning. And the dissolution start to happen.
Yeah. So this is the realization that there is no me, I within.
No, there's nothing. Nobody. It's all oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen.
So when you say you want to control me, I within pops up, and then you want to control that control. When the body is gone, is so obviously
you cannot
there
control
is not.
The body.
Yeah. So Sakkaya Ditthi is like that.
You cannot become the body because you're the knowing element. See, you know.
The feeling, perception, thought constructs, as well as the consciousness is the same, right? There is no one in control. There is just the illusion of control. So you just say, these are my feelings, these are my perceptions, this is how it should be. So that's it. But I mean, if you the body, everything dissolution, there is nothing within, no one within. No controller. There's no driver in the bus. You go through the scenes, but there is nothing. When you go and see, there is no driver.
It's a natural process. Like when you have rain fall to the ground, then the seed in the ground start to grow up to become plants and trees. Nobody plant the trees or anything like that. It's a process of interaction between the four elements, or combination of the four elements.
So this is a process, but we by mistakenly put an I in the center and say I'm in control.
Yeah,
but
because
it is a process.
Because the I take possession of this body. It can control the body to a certain extent. Like you can control your body to walk, to stand, to sit, to eat, and do certain things.
Sure.
But eventually, absolutely, you cannot control them in the end.
So this give us a false sense of control, because certain
That's
things we have some intention, right? Intention is there, but you can change things, like you can do, walk, think, but there is no full control, not absolute control. It's just
no absolute
illusion.
control, conventional control.
Due to ignorance.
Yeah, that's right. So the ignorance, once you see through this ignorance and see it's an activity only, so the net result is because when the conditions are there, they arise, and the conditions are gone, is gone. So net result is zero. Like it's an activity all the time happening.
A good comparison to your body is to an automobile. It's the same thing. Your body is made of the 4 elements, and the automobile also is made up of maybe some, not 4 elements, but the solid element. And then you can drive the car to wherever you want to go. You're the driver. But one day the car will break down, right?
Yeah.
First you might be able to repair it, fix it, and then after a while the repairman say, it's pointless to fix it anymore. Then you have to throw it in the junkyard, right? The cemetery of the car, the automobile goes. But the driver doesn't go to the cemetery with the body, with the car. The body is the mind. The mind go look for a new body, that's all. If we still have any cravings for sensual pleasure, it needs to have the body to be able to access the sensual pleasures.
Yeah, I think even in the sutra, I think they compare just like a car, they compare to carriage, parts of the carriage, and it's exactly what you said. But using a carriage, those days we didn't have cars, so parts put together, the wheels, and the carriage works, and it's working. But exactly the same. And the other comment I want to make about the messengers, the divine messengers we will talk about a lot today. Yes. It's in the Anguttara Nikaya 336. 3.36. They talk about the 3 divine messengers, but nowhere in the sutra I found the 4th one. I think maybe it was added to the legend, like the monk or so the 3 divine messengers are in the sutras, the old age, sickness, and death. But the 4th one, I think maybe it added later on. That's my observation. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it.
Yes, we don't know how it came about, but it's good to know that the 4th one the 4th one is also important.
Yeah, the 4th one is the way out. Yes.
Because the 4th one is the path to the cessation of suffering.
Yeah.
But the first 3 is the cause of suffering.
The reality. Yeah. Reality and the way out.
You need the way out, and the way out is to become a monk.
And I can see one in the center in my screen. You have any questions?
Ajaan, you said when people die at funerals, the Buddhist way is closed casket funeral. Is that how they do in Thailand? Like, because in Sri Lanka, although we are Buddhist, it's a Buddhist country, it's a open casket thing,
Well, it differs from people. If you live in the countryside and if you're poor, sometimes you cannot afford a real casket. Yeah. So you just build a box, made out of bamboos or something, and then there's no cover. Then you can see the body inside in the box. But if you live in the city with people with money, then they have this honest casket, and they don't want to see the body. Nobody wants to see a dead body.
That's true.
Is it any point displaying the body after they have funerals?
When they put the body into the oven, that's when they open the casket, and you can see the body there. Yeah. If you want to see the body.
The Sri Lankan tradition is to leave it open for people to come and see.
Respect, they say, and it's a bit of a celebration kind of thing culturally.
Huh?
Yeah, not in Thailand. It's closed casket.
Which is nice.
If you want to see it, you have to wait until the last moment when they put the casket into the
I see.
Okay. Because it's just the 4 elements.
Either way, it's the 4 elements going to go.
Yeah. So best is to just, it's a body, just get rid of it. That's it, right?
Piece of log.
Eventually it becomes dust, right?
Yes.
and then you pour it somewhere in the water. And
Exactly.
Because you're born anyway. By that time, you're somewhere else. You're you're kind of worshipping or respecting a piece of log, right? Or whoever comes, but you're somewhere watching and laughing away.
You're probably in dreamland during that time. As soon as you die, you enter into dreamland.
Yeah.
And it's a good karma and bad karma that will produce
Take
the
you.
dream, good dreams or bad dreams.
That's true.
Until you run out of dreams, then you reborn again as a human again.
Yeah.
You
Thank you,
start the
Thailand.
new round of the same old thing.
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah.
So like being born is like getting awake from your dream. And when you die, it means you go back into your dream.
That's so true.
You go to sleep when you die. And when you're reborn, you wake up to a new body with a new body.
Yes.
So that you're becoming, in other words, becoming birth. Yeah.
Birth, aging, sickness, and death.
Yeah.
Again, going through the cycle.
Then birth, aging, sickness again.
That's so true.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Next, Mandy Smith.
Everyone, Saturday.
Mandy.
Thank you, Ajaan. Been reading the inspiring Dhamma at nighttime before bed, and also listening to talks and the books. I find that it is helping with regular feelings of like dissatisfaction with life. And when I was reading, it says sometimes that if you were to sit in meditation too long, and I already think that this might not be accurate, but that you might lose your mind if you don't have enough, I guess, wisdom. If you were to sit, then you would sit for too long, that it might be too much for someone or for beginners. Does this make any sense?
No, the longer you can sit, then it means the more mindfulness you have. And the more mindfulness you have, it means the calmer your mind becomes. Because if your mind is not calm, you cannot remain sitting for a long time. So I think people saying this without actually doing the practice themselves. Just a matter of, thinking, and then just let the imagination dictate them what's going on. But it's not true. The longer you can sit in it, the longer you are calm, the longer you're happy. The more you're happy. That's why you remain sitting. You only get up because you not feel happy anymore, right? When you meditate. But when you're happy, you don't want to get up. You want to enjoy it. So the more happy you can be in your meditation, then the longer you remain in your meditation. Some practitioner can stay in jhana for days, sometimes.
Right.
Because they're happy. The mind just float in emptiness and happiness. So there's no need for the mind to seek for any other thing. It's only after the body start to inflict some pain to the mind, say, hey, I need to go to the bathroom, I need some food. Then that's when you come out of your meditation practice. Otherwise, you want to be in the meditation world. It's the most happy world for you to be in, next to Nibbana. So don't be afraid of meditation. Meditation causes no harm. The lack of meditation is the one that's causing you all the harm right now, all the dukkha, all the suffering right now. If you can meditate, then you can at least escape the dukkha when you face some dukkha. And if you don't want to face it, you can escape into your meditation, into jhana.
Mm. I read about Vipassana Upakalesa
Upakilesa, yeah.
and how not to be attached also to the good feelings. Is that to
Yes, that's when you come to the last step, when you have to even ditch the good feeling for meditation, because the good feeling for meditation is also temporarily sanija, because you cannot remain in meditation all the time. So if you rely on meditation for happiness, you will not get permanent happiness. You can only get temporary happiness. If you want to have permanent happiness, then you must not rely on anything. When you don't have to rely, then you don't have any craving for anything. That's when you have permanent happiness. Okay. But for most practitioners, when they get to that happiness, they cling to them because they thought this is the true happiness, the permanent happiness. But after a while, they start to see, hey, it's not like that. It's still impermanent. They know that if it's impermanent, it can give you suffering sooner or later. So if you don't want to have any suffering, then you must not cling to this type of good feeling. Don't rely on it for true happiness, for permanent happiness. So when you give up this attachment to this feeling for meditation, then you become free of any cravings. And when your mind becomes free of any craving, that's when you get permanent happiness.
Mm.
Understand? This is a real tricky part here. And usually people get into this trap of we call the upakilesa, the defilement, the subtle defilement that causes us to become attached to this happiness from jhana, from meditation. But we need this happiness in order for us to give up our sensual pleasure happiness. We need some replacement. Once we have jhana, then we don't need to have sensual pleasure to keep us happy. So we can ditch the sensual pleasure. Then we become attached to this meditation, this jhana happiness. So we have to also ditch this once we have ditched the sensual pleasure. Then the purpose of having jhana is no longer there anymore. So you can also give up the pleasure from jhana in exchange for nibbana.
Okay.
Okay. Nibbana is the state of mind when there is no craving left. If you still have any craving, it means you're not there yet. You have to give up all cravings. Craving for sensual pleasure first, then craving for jhana, then you get to nibbana.
Mm. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So you first need to give up your sensual pleasure first, and you need jhana to do this. Once you have jhana, then you don't have to rely on your sensual pleasures to give you happiness. You rely on jhana instead. And then once you give up your sensual pleasures, then you become addicted to your jhana. Then you have to give up that addiction also.
Yeah.
So it's better not to be addicted, right? Regardless of what. Addicted to coffee and not addicted to coffee, which is better?
Mm-hmm.
If you're addicted to coffee, you have to keep looking for coffee all the time. If you're not addicted to coffee, then you don't have to go look for coffee. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Next up, Alachita from Dubai. How's your living alone, coming along? Good? Have second thoughts, having second thoughts?
I don't have second thoughts in terms of living separately. That's for sure. I don't know in the long run whether I will be with my partner or not, that is uncertain, because it's a difficult thing to decide.
Yeah, because it takes two to decide, not just one.
Yes. So
Okay. On your side, you're quite ready to be alone.
I am, it's a bit like what you said, so much about learning to, there's always a sense of this hunger or lack, right? So I go out towards friends or things, and then through this time, hoping to develop more strength in having this inner food of meditation or other ways like metta or different things. So I'm kind of in that sort of working on it.
Yeah, working on it. Struggle
Yes.
between the two sides.
Yes. And I see it. So that much is clear, but I'm working on it.
Okay, good. At least you know that what you have to do now.
Yes, and it is very clear. Like sometimes I'm like on this, oh, this is perfect. This is just what I like. And then I have a dip. And so then I say, look, you can't rely on that I'm feeling perfect moment either. So it's just slowly working.
Okay.
But you said something last week which made me think a lot. That is, you said, I said, oh, I'm going through, I'm just managing things. And you said, yeah, why manage everything? And so I'm kind of trying to see how I can be true and not try to manage.
Yes, try to live with everything the way they come. It's easier that way. We get a lot stressed by trying to manage things, especially when we cannot manage them. They can make us frustrated.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes managing is actually because I'm uncomfortable with something. So that's why I try to manage. If I step back and I'm like, okay, let's just see what it is. And maybe I don't need to, maybe some new thing can happen. So
that's right. Or manage what you can manage and give up what you cannot manage. Especially things that you don't need.
yes.
Okay.
So yes, I'm in that space. But
yes. But you're good to deal with everything is meditation.
yes.
Once you have contentment, then you don't need anything. Then you can give up everything.
Yes, I'm open to that possibility. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Next, outsourcing from Penang.
Good evening, Tan Ajaan. I still carry on my.
Can you live alone? Live with nothing, nobody?
Still not yet, I think.
Not yet. Your meditation is not strong enough yet. Not able to maintain equanimity all the time.
I've not tried staying alone. That's why I don't know whether I can do it or not. I've not tried. I still carry on my 6 hours same spot sitting meditation once a week.
You find it useful?
Very good, very good. But after getting up from the sitting position, I have backache. But I just let it go. I assume it's temporary. Comes and go.
It reduces your greed, your cravings.
Mm-hmm.
You can stay put more easily, not having to go here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I feel my mindfulness is better now.
Yeah, just keep developing it all the time until you are able to enter into jhana anytime you want. Okay, any question?
Thank you very much for your guidance.
Okay, go to Philip. Hi, Philip. Mute your microphone. Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan. Hope you're doing well. I don't have questions. Just it's been interesting listening to the last 1 hour, 1.5 hours, to all the questions. No particular questions.
Okay, that's one of the benefits from listening to Dhammatalk. You hear something new all the time.
Right.
Or if something that you have already heard, you get better understanding after you listen to it. Oh,
Yes, exactly. It reinforces your learning. Yes.
your understanding.
Yes. I mean, we've been doing this for 5 years, and every time it's just reinforcing. Yeah.
You get a better picture of the big puzzle. The puzzle,
Yes.
you get a small piece each time you listen to it.
Yes.
Then you put it in, and you start to see the true picture eventually.
Correct.
Okay, good. Alvin, yeah.
Namaskar, Ajaan. Don't have any question, just listening in. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, Intan from Indonesia. Where have you been? Haven't seen you for a few weeks, huh?
Good evening, Prajan. I'm unwell, Prajan.
Unwell, huh? You're sick.
Yes. So, I think I missed this Zoom meeting 3 weeks. So when one day I dream, at that dream I'm at Kochi On and I listen Prajan Dhammatalk. So when I wake up, I remember Prajan told me what I choose. When I say okay, I choose. Then I choose. I focus for my work. Then Prajan say, why I choose the suffering way. I realized maybe that dream is remind me, maybe because I focus for my job, then I'm suffering and I get sick. So after that, I know I cannot far away from Prajan, so I stay at this spot and I start to meditate and learn Prajan Dhammatalk every day to keep me, to remind me I must to go in this way.
Yes, you have to stick to the path.
Mhm.
Don't get out on the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yes.
That's the
Thank you,
path that will
Prajan.
lead you to the cessation of suffering.
Mhm.
No other path can lead you out of suffering. They all lead you back into suffering.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So keep meditating. Don't forget every day.
Yes.
Nining is in Kauchio now, I think.
Oh,
Okay, good.
okay. Thank you, Prajan.
All right, you're welcome. Alfredo from Sao Paulo. Hi, Alfredo. I haven't seen you a few weeks either, huh? Where have you been?
Hi, Bante. I was in Facebook.
Oh, you're in Facebook watching live instead.
Earning you in Facebook.
I
It's the
see.
same here. The same Bante.
But no
The
talking.
same,
You cannot come
the
in and
same,
talk.
the same wisdom.
Okay.
Very wisdom.
So how are you? Good?
Good. Yesterday I win in lottery
Oh, really?
in Brazil.
Congratulations. You're a rich man now, huh?
I need more one number. I four numbers.
I see
If
you.
5 numbers, a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
I win $50. A
I see.
little.
A little. Yeah, okay. Well, it's
If five
if five, you get 1 million, huh?
Oh, five numbers is million.
Million, yeah. Good.
I will give to you, to your monastery.
Okay.
Yeah. I help a lot of monks in my. I have
Good.
25 years of Buddhism. I
Yes.
receive a lot of monks and monastery. I
Help
gave a
monks,
lot.
support monks.
I support very much.
Yes,
monks.
good. This is
Good.
the duty of Buddhist lay people to support the Sangha.
Yes. the peoples in airport, a lot of executive peoples there, brought working peoples, and I with a monk, the peoples look to me if I did. He smile of me, but a lot the normal peoples in Brazil is executive peoples, né? But in airports, a lot of executive peoples,
Deceptive
work
people.
peoples, yeah, work peoples,
Working people.
working peoples in airport.
Uh,
But a lot of history, a lot of histories of airport with monks. A lot of histories.
Visitor, monk visitor. I see.
Yeah, a lot of histories. A lot of histories.
Okay.
One time, Bante Santicaro, do you know Bante Santicaro?
No, no.
The assessor of Bante of Thailand.
Ajaan Chah.
No, Ajaan Chah, no Ajaan Chah. Other Bante.
Other Bante. Ajaan Suneto.
No, Sumed. No, the line of Ajaan Chah, other line.
I see.
The oh, Bante. My first teacher on Buddhism, Theravada, Ricardo Sasaki.
Okay.
Ananda, the monastery in Brazil, the name is Nalanda Rama.
Nalanda, okay.
Nalanda, in Brazil.
So Manta Nalanda is your teacher?
No, Nalanda is the name of monastery.
Monastery
in Brazil.
It also was in ancient India, right? Nalanda.
Yes. The name goes to the monastery of India, né? And the teacher of Ricardo Sasaki next week I say to you, I don't remember now.
Okay.
It's a very good teacher. They have respect the teaching of Buddha about the peoples had born.
What nationality is he?
What?
What nationality?
Thailand.
Oh, Thai monk.
Ricardo Sasaki.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
20. Is the part of my lingua. I don't remember.
Okay, but you consider him to be your teacher?
Yes. The first teachers in Theravada is Ricardo Sasaki, né? He's a good teacher in Brazil. For me, he's the best teacher in Brazil.
Is he living in Brazil now, or is he living in Thailand?
Yes.
In Brazil.
In
I see. Okay.
He lives in Brazil.
Okay, good.
Yes, but he in Brazil have two teachers of Theravada.
Okay.
Nalanda, two monasteries, Nalanda and the Ajaan monastery, né?
Okay.
Two monasteries, but they are fighting. They are fighting.
They're fighting. They're not.
Yes,
they
not tell. Nalanda and Ajaan not tell, because they one give the woman of other in past have a problem, a big problem.
Okay.
Então they two monasteries in Brazil are fighting. Are
see.
not have relationships.
Maybe they have different opinion. They have different opinion.
No, about Dhamma they have the same opinion.
Yes.
But they have fight because woman, né, Bante?
Woman.
Yes, one people take the woman of other peoples. It's 30, 40 years ago. But they have fight fight, and not tell.
Okay.
It's very bad, but it's very bad. And two monasteries fight with me because I am an Nalanda, né? I begin in Nalanda. Other group, not like Nalanda, not like me.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I have not like for two. I participate two groups, and the two groups not like me about two groups. Now, Ricardo very don't like when I frequently grupo Ajaan Mudito, né, Casa de Dharma em São Paulo. Ricardo not accept.
Okay.
Ricardo not.
All right.
But it's normal, né, Bante? You say last week you say I heard you say. The thing is sunyata, né, Bante? The thing is not a problem, né?
Okay, it's the defilement. The problem is with the defilement, the preferences, the like and dislike.
The problem is asavas, né, Bante? It's not the of samsara, né? If two peoples fight, it's not a problem, né, Bante?
It's normal for the kilesa to fight each other. But if we have Dhamma, then there will be no fight. There will be no fight between Dhammas.
Yes.
Because there will always be loving kindness.
Yes. I think the important is our kilesas.
That's right. That's the problem. Our kilesa.
Yes.
Once you have no kilesa, then there will be no problems.
Yes. If a group of Dhamma not like other group of Dhamma, it's normal, né, Bante? It's normal.
It's because of the kilesas.
Yes.
Okay, good. Just stay by yourself. Be alone. That's the best way.
Thanks, Bante. I meditate. I practice meditation to have wisdom.
That's right. And to have ubeka, just like your name.
Oh, Ubeka is my goal. It's my goal, Bante. It's my goal.
Okay.
For Jana is difficult.
Yes,
but
you need ubeka before you can develop wisdom.
Yes.
Okay,
yes. Good.
See you next week if you're around then. Okay. Next, Lillian. Hi, Lillian. Are you in Bangkok or in Malaysia?
I'm still in Bangkok.
I see. I haven't seen you for almost a year now, or more.
Less than a year. Yep. I haven't been coming in, but really refreshing to hear the talks, the discussion in the room. And I also went to a pilgrimage in India in March, and I saw Aparajita and Zulik as well.
I see.
Yep, so it was a good experience.
You recognize her from the Zoom meeting?
I kind of recognize, so
so you approach her.
Yeah, I think we approach each other.
I see. Because you haven't been in the room for a while.
Yes,
Maybe she still recognizes you.
Yeah, you kind of recognize the people in the room somehow. Yep.
How's life treating you? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I think the pilgrimage really pushed me a lot to really practice and
inspiring.
Yes, very inspirational, I would say. And so if I'm lazy, I'll just think of what I did, and it will push me to meditate every day. So I think it's good so far.
You can think of the 4 divine signs also.
Yep. We only went to 2. We didn't go to 4, but it's good enough. Yep.
Good. Any question tonight?
I was thinking, I'm trying to do the body contemplation. I remember you mentioned about this before, but just wanted some reinforcement. It starts with the hair of the head and hair of the body, right?
Yes.
But when you do it, can you focus on just maybe 2 or 3 things, or you really need to focus on the whole list of things?
Well, eventually you want to see the whole picture, the composition of the body. So eventually you would like to see all the 32 parts if that's possible. But you can start with just 1 or 2 first, and then just keep adding more and more as you go on.
Okay. It's hard to memorize all 32 at one time too.
Yeah, just maybe take the 5 parts for the external part. Hair of the head, hair of the body, nail, teeth, skin.
Okay.
And then you move on the inside after that, into the flesh and bones and skeletons and so forth.
Okay.
And try to visualize this part, how they look like also.
Okay.
You can open up, you can look at an anatomy book. If you don't know how they look like.
Yep.
Just search in the internet for anatomy and you can see all the different parts of the body.
Okay.
This will keep your mind from teaching your mind not to see the body as being good looking. That's all. So this will prevent your sexual desire to come out.
Okay.
If you're a preceptor or if you're ordained, then you need this contemplation. If you're not, if you're still a family person, then you might not need this because it might disrupt your family relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
But you have to know what to study, what position you are in. But if you can study and not let it affect your relationship, then that's okay also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'll try and see.
You also have to look at the other aspect of the body. Yeah, as being anicca, impermanent. Once it's born, it will get old, get sick, and die also. And also look at the anatta aspect. There's no self in this body. It's just made up of the 4 elements. Yeah.
Okay.
And the 32, if you study the 32 parts of the body, you can also see that there's no you in this body. As you go through the 32 parts, then you don't find yourself in any of this part, right? Then you can eventually conclude that there's no you in this body. If you dissect the body, divide the body up into 32 parts, and ask yourself, where are you in this 32 parts? And then you cannot find you in this 32 parts.
That's true.
Then you can conclude, this body is not me. I'm not this body. I'm just the possessor of this body. I'm the mind, the one who thinks, the one who tells the body what to do. See, understand?
Yep.
This is to see that there's no self in this body. So then you won't have a strong attachment to it.
Okay.
And eventually you can let go of your attachment. And when there's no attachment, then there will be no dukkha, whatever happens to this body. Because you know it's not you. You're not affected by the death of this body, by the sickness of this body. You're the knower, the one who thinks, the one who knows, the one who controls this body, possess this body, use this body. The user of this body is the mind. Like the driver of the automobile. Okay, you have to separate the mind from the body this way. Good?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Next.
Ajahn.
Gary from Singapore.
Ajahn, no questions. Just happy to be with you.
Okay, Steph from Oregon.
Hi, Ajahn. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you.
I'm okay. I do I have been really good this week. I felt very good, but then last night, my child has rats. Like we have rats that are our pets, and I thought one of them was sick. And it was like bedtime, so then I had to go to bed, and then I like all night long I've just felt so much anxiety over this rat, and I couldn't sleep. It's making me realize that like some part of my practice is very good, but then when it gets to the rubber meets the road, like death, it's not good. So yeah, I don't know.
You haven't passed the test yet. You did your homework, and maybe your homework is not good enough.
Yeah.
But it's good though to know that you still have to work on this separation, working on death. Everybody is subjected to death. Think more about it. Think more often. With just not just you, but with everybody, or even things. Things can also die. Like your car can die. Your washing machine, your washer can die.
Everything. Like I live in space, so it's so pleasant and blah, but then something impinges and you're like, nope. Yeah.
You live in the delusion, the world of delusion. You think everything is fine.
Yeah. But it's not fine. Yeah.
But everything is just waiting to erupt. Everything waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for all these things by thinking more about it every day. Like I said,
think more about death. That should help. Okay.
Yeah, death or dissolution or cessation.
Yeah. Okay.
Then when things happen, you say, you already know ahead of time, so you don't feel any bad.
Yeah. I will say Buddho has been very helpful. Like I can keep myself when I can keep myself on the mantra. Okay. So
you find yourself restless, just use the mantra. If you cannot use wisdom to stop it.
Yes, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
good. Next. Hi, Alexander. I'm sorry. Alex Turpin. Hi, Alex. From the UK.
Hello,
right?
Ajaan. Yes, that's right. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
So, thank you. I have a number of questions at Ajaan. I will try to get through them as quickly and as concisely as possible because I realize, we don't have much time left. The first question I wanted to ask is about metta. I read something which I believe you said, I think it was on one of your, a Facebook page, either by you or about you, but it was attributed to you anyway. And it said something along the lines of, and correct me if I'm mistaken, it was something like that metta, at least the chanting, doesn't actually do anything. That metta is, it's more about sort of how you, it's about smiling to people and, being kind to people and so on. And I just wanted to clarify that, please, because I understand that the mere recitation of a phrase might not do anything, just the words alone. But I myself, from experience, have had derived quite a significant amount of happiness from wishing thoughts of goodwill to people. And what you seem to be suggesting is that can only come from interacting with people. It couldn't be done by oneself at home. Could you clarify that, please?
Well, if you do this chanting or reciting of the word, of the phrase, it is a form of meditation, see? And you feel happy from this form of meditation, like you reciting a mantra like Bhutto, Bhutto. So it's a form of meditation when you recite alone by yourself. You can feel good from this reciting, this recitation, but it's not the act of giving loving kindness to other people, because you're not giving anything to anybody when you're alone. It's only when you only meet somebody, like your friend have a birthday, so you buy him a cake or something. And this is showing metta. This is an act of metta, and you can feel good this way also. So there are two types of feeling good: by meditation or by the act of metta itself. So I'm trying to remind people that they don't They're not giving anything to anybody. They're not giving any metta to anybody when they recite the metta chant, you know.
Okay,
They have to
just
show.
so I just yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure we're talking about the same thing, first of all. So when I say, for example, the metta bhavana, what I'm referring to is a practice which I believe is quite common, at least in the West. I can't comment on any other aspects of sides of the world, but it would be something along the lines of sitting, you know, preferably in solitude, and thinking, you know, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be free from suffering, or words to that effect, and perhaps contemplating those things, and then wishing it for a, you know, a preferred person, and doing the same thing, and then a neutral person, and then a someone with whom one has a somewhat adversarial relationship, and then expanding it out to wider and wider groups of people until one encompasses the entire cosmos. Is that as I don't know, does that actually do any, does that actually cultivate one's feeling of goodwill, or is that
It's a form
I'm
of
confused.
meditation. It makes you feel calm and peaceful. But can you actually do this when you meet your adversary? That's the point. See, that's another story. See? That's the real action. That's the real act of metta. When you meet your adversary and you smile and embrace that person, can you do that? If you have metta.
I'm better than I was, but I still have a long way to go
Okay,
for that.
that's what I mean. You when you're reciting this metta, you're not actually doing it. See? You have to do it to really to show that you really have metta inside your heart. You forgive this
Does it
person.
have some positive effect?
Huh?
Sorry. Does it
What's
have a
that?
positive effect on my mind in terms of, does it generate some potential for metta, or is it only when it's sort of expressed in practical terms that it has a positive effect on one's goodwill?
Well, you're trying to convince yourself to be nice. See? That's what it is. You're convincing yourself, I should be nice to this person, that person, even my adversary. But can you actually do it or not? You have to prove it when you meet that person. Then that's real metta.
I see.
But by reciting it only makes you feel calm and peaceful. But you don't know whether you'll be able to do what you recite when you meet the person, the situation that requires you to have metta.
I see. So is this training mindfulness or samadhi, or what is it training when I do it by myself?
Mindfulness, meditation. It's like reciting a mantra or watching your breath. It calms your mind, gets you to equanimity or jhana.
Okay. And what about the other Brahma Viharas, Karana, Mudita, and
Same
Upekkha?
thing.
How does one practice those?
The next one we call karuna, which is compassion. When you see somebody suffering, you offer help to relieve their suffering. This is compassion. Mudita, when you see somebody successful, you congratulate them. You show your joy with them. This is mudita. Instead of being envious, you feel happy for them. And the last one is equanimity. When you cannot do anything, you cannot give compassion, you cannot help the person, you cannot show your joy with other people, then you just remain still, not reacting to anything. Equanimity. So that you don't hurt yourself. Sometimes you feel bad when you cannot help someone who is in need of help, and you feel bad. If you have equanimity, then you say, okay, this is the way it is. You cannot help, so you cannot help. What can you do? To feel bad about it, it's only hurting yourself. So you use equanimity, upekkha.
One of the difficulties I have with upekkha in particular is that it's not obvious at what point my actions will, at what point my actions won't have any sort of effect on a person. So, part of me might see a person suffering, and I might think, oh, if only I tried a bit harder, if only I, then I would be able to help them in some way. It's not obvious that, oh, I truly cannot help them. It doesn't always feel as black and white as that.
Yeah, sometimes the situation, it depends on the situation. Sometimes you really want to help somebody, but you could not do anything, and you might feel bad or feel frustrated. But if you use equanimity and say, well, what can you do? If you cannot do anything, then don't hurt yourself. Don't blame yourself for not being able to help. That's all. That's what equanimity means. To accept the truth, the reality.
And in regard to karuna and mudita, what you've said a couple of minutes ago suggested that one has to wait for such experiences to happen. I don't like that. Is there any way to do that independently of other people's lives?
Go to a slum.
I don't want to wait till...
Go to a slum.
Sorry?
Or when you walk on the street, you see some homeless person, give them money. You find suffering everywhere. If you look, there are people suffering every day, everywhere. You're just not looking at them, that's all.
Okay. And how should that manifest, if at all, as a feeling? Because obviously, when a lot of people talk about compassion, I'm not talking in a Buddhist sense.
You feel good when you help someone. You better their life, free them from suffering. For instance, if they need medical help and no one support them, then you take that person under your care until he becomes well again. Then you feel happy.
I was actually referring to the process, the emotional state that elicits a sense of I need to help this person. So I think when a lot of people think of compassion, they might think of this strong, perhaps uncomfortable emotion that drives one that compels one to help another. Is that a sign? Is that a good sign that, should that be getting more intense as one practices, or should that be getting less intense, or is that an indication of one's compassion, or is it the practical ability to help a person?
You want to be able to help people when you can, but when you have no business in helping anybody, then you stay with equanimity. Keep your mind peaceful and calm. Only when the situation dictates that you have to help somebody, then you do it.
Okay, but I mean, if I see someone struggling on the street and I have a really intense feeling of unpleasantness, like, oh, I don't like this.
Okay, then help.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel good by helping that person, then do it. But if you cannot help,
but is
then
the feeling
But if you cannot help,
is the feeling itself wholesome or unwholesome?
That's what compassion is. The feeling of wanting to help people. So the more intense it is, then the more action you will become involved with. The less intense, then the less action.
Yes. I'm more referring to the fact that the unpleasantness associated with it, because if I think of the Buddha as someone who is sort of preeminent in terms of compassion, what does that, how does that sort of, how does he feel like a sense of, oh, I feel unpleasant? Surely he can't, because he's overcome all defilements.
He doesn't feel any suffering in himself, but he can understand the suffering in that person.
Right.
So you look at it more rationally than emotionally. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Would there be an emotional component in the
mind
of the Buddha when in response?
Not in the mind of the Buddha. The mind of the Buddha is always have equanimity as the basis of standing. The mind is always in equanimity, but it can then move from equanimity to compassion, to mudita, or to metta. Depends on the situation.
Okay. And if you said, visit, for example, the slums to practice, to help practice karuna, where would I go to practice mudita? Would I go to, I don't know, like Hollywood or something like that?
No, when your friends get married or somebody, go ahead and congratulate them. When your friend get promoted or something like that.
Okay.
You don't go look for
Thank you,
them.
Tanajan.
You don't go look for this thing. You wait for them to come to you. If nothing comes to you, then you stay with equanimity as your base of
Okay.
action. As your base of action, you stay in equanimity, and you only move from equanimity to metta when the situation requires you to have metta, or karuna, or mudita, whichever the case.
I see. Tanajan, another question I would like to ask, which is about is that I would like to know how as a layperson, I can be as close to the Dhamma as possible. Now, I already live a very solitary life. I'm trying to practice, well, not always 100% successfully, but, you know, I have tried over the past several months in particular to, you know, to practice walking meditation, and that's the only one I can do consistently. I just feel that I just find life very, very difficult and very, very oppressive. And it feels that when I've tried to do the right things consistently, it just seems to be going wrong in a number of different ways. And I would like to put myself in an environment that is as close as possible to the Dhamma. And I'm thinking of moving to Thailand, but that's not really a plan. I would like to know what specifically to do. You know, would I be able to stay at a monastery for a year, or I don't really have any tangible plan. All I know is I want to be as close to the Dhamma as possible, and I'm willing to do anything necessary.
Well, there are temples or monastery who will admit you as a candidate for ordination, like the Ajaan Suchart tradition. They will accept foreigners to stay with them as an aid preceptor first for 1 year, and live and practice with them as just like them, just like monks do. But you haven't yet ordained. Before you can ordain in this tradition, they require you to live as the aid preceptor for 1 year, and then you might have to. The next step is require you to ordain, have ordination, be a novice first, and then
I would
eventually.
ordain if I. Sorry.
I'm just describing the step that this monastery requires you to do if you want to stay in these monasteries. First, you can keep the aid precept become an aid preceptor for 1 year. And if you want to move up the next step, you become a novice, which is not a fully ordained monk yet, only for 2 years, I think. And after that, then you can take the full ordination as a monk. But all this time you'll be living with the community of monks and teachers, Dhamma teachers. If you want to do that in Thailand, that's what you can do.
I would very much like to become a monk, but my circumstances do not allow it. I have a lot of student debt to pay off. So I would like to know, as a lay person, and only as a lay person, how close to the Dhamma can I truly get without becoming a monk?
Well, by study the scriptures at home and practice at home. This is the easiest thing to do. If you cannot afford to go in person to a monastery. Or if you have a monastery nearby, you can travel to from time to time and take a brief retreat from time to time to recharge your faith, your inspiration. You can do this also. You mentioned about Amaravati Monastery, right? Before in London or something.
Yes, it has been mentioned. Yeah, I looked on their website, and it doesn't seem to be clear that there's a way of a way of staying there sort of long term or contributing long term. It doesn't seem obvious to me.
You might have to contact them and ask them personally for this information. So this is what you can do. First, study at home, practice at home with the resources that you have. Then if you feel you need more resources, then you go to a monastery and maybe stay there for a few days. One of our participants he's living in Switzerland, and he said there's a good monastery, Ajaan Suchart's tradition, which is very quiet, that allow you to go and live and practice temporarily for, I'm not sure how long, but you can go and stay there. So, but you have to travel to Switzerland to do that.
I see. I'm just trying to think about my lifestyle in the long term, because I would like to, you know, I would like to be somewhere for years and years or decades and decades where I can go, right, this is it. I can practice the Dhamma. My social environment is, you know, is supportive of my Dhamma practice, but that's not presently the case. And I'm wondering where that would be the case. I suspect Thailand.
There are some forest tradition monastery in England itself, established by Ajaan Suchart's disciple, that you can look up and try first. And you find it's not good enough for you, and you might want to go to Thailand, and they have more of the same there in Thailand for you to practice.
I see. I see.
Okay.
Okay. Thanajan, I would also like to ask you about a question, a moral question, please. So I work for a charity, and the charity is has been looking to expand for some time now in terms of, we basically feed people who are, you know, really struggling for emergency food. And one of the things, we've been trying to apply for a building, but we weren't successful in that. So we've been stuck in this sort of relatively small building. Okay. And now relatively recently, we've come across another building which has been abandoned for, I think, about 30, 40 years or so. It might have an owner. There's a chance it might have an owner, but it's unlikely given how long it's been abandoned for. And we've put a sign up with our logo and saying, with our number on, in case anyone needs to contact us. But we have made plans to set up there and so on, with the intention of helping people. Now, my question to you, Thanajan, is this a violation of the second precept? Because technically we are taking what is not given. On the other hand, it doesn't appear to belong to anyone. It appears to be abandoned. Legally, it might belong to someone, but I would say it's highly unlikely. What does Thanajan think about that?
Well, you just have to abide by the law, that's all. Consult your lawyer and ask if it's okay for you to do it or not legally. If it's okay legally, then do it. But eventually, if the owner come up and want to repossess the land, then you have to give it up. Just thinking about borrowing it right now, not actually owning the land yourself.
Sure, but if I found a wallet on the street, I wouldn't use the wallet while the owner turned up, would I? I would count that as a violation of the statute.
Then you just leave the wallet alone.
Yeah. But that's what I've been thinking about this building, that we should just.
Okay. If you have moral conscience, then just don't occupy that building. It's up to you. Let your conscience be your guide.
Yes. Well, I tend to be very, very cautious about these things, about the consequences of my actions. But it creates difficulties with other people. I don't mind those difficulties, but it can make life, it can cause a bit of, yeah. Well, actually, I do mind the difficulties it causes friction.
If you're not sure, then don't do it. That's it. The rule is, if you're not sure, don't do it. If you're sure that it's okay, then do it.
Yes, but I tend to be quite doubtful about a lot of things, which
Then don't do it. Let's meditate instead.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Thank you for your time, Tanya.
Okay,
Thank you for
you're
your
welcome.
teaching.
You're welcome. Next, Levan, also our long-time participant. What happened to you?
I slipped in my practice. I'm sorry.
Went after sensual pleasures, huh?
But I was able to stay at Wat Metta for 2 weeks, and I went to Abhayagiri this past weekend, and that's really helpful to refresh my practice.
They have places for women to stay.
Yes, both places have places for women to stay.
Okay.
But at Abhayagiri, there was a senior monk, Longpo Liam. He was visiting this weekend, so I just went there for the event.
I see. You live nearby in Northern California.
It's about 2 hours 15 minutes drive. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, but going to Wat Metta, I flew there. It's a bit further.
Did you find it beneficial?
I found it really helpful to have a schedule to practice in the morning and evening. And yeah, I think for me, it's a discipline that is the hardest
Yeah.
part.
Can you follow up now after you're home? Can you still do it?
I still sleep a little, but better than nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. The discipline is the word that you should depend to keep your practice going. You have to have discipline, regimen.
Yes, I think discipline and consistency, not missing it. I think that's part. Yeah. And not letting the life event kind of push me out of my way. I think that's another things too.
Okay. You have any question?
No question. Just want to check in. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Well, that's about all for our participant. We have more questions from email, I think. Where are you on?
กราบหลวงพ่อครับ There are two questions tonight. The first question from Maria from Russia. I wonder if it's useful to go to the Go and Girls retreat to get external motivation to practice, because people are forced to meditate there. I have some doubts about it because their practice is a bit different from what you give, but it's the only option for me around here. Canท่านอาจารย์ please advise?
Well, if you need someone to force you to do the practice, then you might have to go. But if you can force yourself to do the practice, then you might not need to go. So it's up to you. It's different people. Some people need to go there in order for them to be able to practice. They need someone to force them to do it. For some other people, they find it better to practice alone because they can force themselves to practice, and they don't need to go.
And the last question from Vijay from India. I suffered significant losses in the stock market, which left my mind deeply agitated. Due to my strong attachment to money, I am unable to let go of the stock market and trading, even though I have not earned a single penny from it. I hope that one day I will make substantial profit and recover my losses. I recognize that this turmoil stems from my unstable, restless mind, and that to live a happier life, I must learn to detach. But yet my mind refuses to accept this reality. What should I do? Is this a karmic consequence or simply the result of my own mistakes?
Well, you have to accept that things in life is not certain. Things can go up or come down, and you cannot control them. So it's like gambling, life is like a gambling. You just have to take your chance. But if you don't want to take your chance, then just give up everything and become a monk. What else can I do? What else can I say? Okay. That's about it, huh? Okay, thank you for your company. I hope you enjoy this meeting and find some usefulness from it and use it in your practice to help you advance. In the meantime, please stay safe and stay calm. Keep on meditating. If all is well, I'll see you again next time, next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบหลวงพ่อครับ
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thanks, Ajahn.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Emmy.
Emmy.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night, everyone. Bye. Have a good day.
Good night.
Bye. Thank
บ๊าย
you.
บายค่ะ
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
บ๊ายบายค่ะบ๊ายบาย